Hi, it's Nick from the Run Testers, and this is our full and final review of the Saucony Endorphin Pro. The Endorphin Pro is Saucony's answer, if you will, to the Nike Vaporfly and now Alphafly. It's their top of the range racing shoe with a carbon plate in it. It's one of the most exciting new shoes of the year, and obviously we'll dive into a whole load of detail in the upcoming review, but suffice to say that this is a fantastic shoe and did not disappoint me in any way. So when it comes to the key stats of the shoe, we'll start with the price. It's £190 in the UK and $200 in the US, which is, you know, a big chunk of change, but it's a lot cheaper than kind of Nike's top carbon racers. The drop of the shoe is 8mm from heel to toe, and it weighs in at 228 grams for this, which is my UK size 9. That's a fair bit heavier than the Vaporfly and things like the Meta Racer from Asics, but it is slightly lighter than the Alphafly, which is 232 grams in the same size. So when it comes to design, we'll start with this upper, which is Saucony's form fit style thing. It's soft, comfortable. You can see the heel's fairly flexible. There's a bit of padding there for around the Achilles tendon to give you a bit of support. Toe box is reasonably wide and very breathable. It's a really solid upper. Like I had no problems getting a nice tight fit. Didn't feel like I was slipping around in the shoe, but I wasn't getting any rubbing or anything like that either. In the midsole of the shoe, we have Saucony's PEBA-based Power Run PB foam, which is the first kind of foam from Saucony that is PEBA-based. The other Power Run foams are made from different material. That obviously means it's that kind of same soft, light, and responsive energy returning feel you get from Nike Zoom X foam, which is also PEBA-based. There is an S-curve carbon plate in the shoe, and the curve I imagine is crucial to what is probably the standout feature of the shoe, which is the SPEEDROLL technology. Everything about the shoe is designed to get you from heel to toe quickly and smoothly, which just results in a really nice efficient feel on the run. It's a slightly different kind of design to that really bouncy feel you get from some of these carbon plate shoes, but it's all about rolling you from heel to toe in a smooth and fast manner. The outsole of the shoe is a pretty standard racing one. There's not a huge amount of rubber there. There's enough on the forefoot there to hopefully mean it's reasonably durable. But there's a fair bit of exposed foam, which could end up getting kind of ripped to shreds if you're running on kind of even light trails. So this is very much a road racing shoe. You're not getting a huge amount of grip from the outsole. It's all about keeping you lightweight and fast on your feet, so you can go and smash out PBs on good road courses. When it comes to the fit of the Endorphin Pro, it is true to size for me and very comfortable. Really no issues anywhere in terms of rubbing or struggles to get a tight fit or a comfortable fit. Yeah, I want true to size with this, and I think you should too. So I've done kind of several runs in the shoe, covering I think something like 60 kilometers in total. I've mostly reserved it for kind of hard, fast runs because that's really what the shoe is for. It's a speed shoe designed for your races, really. So the first thing to really say about the shoe is if you run in it, you'll notice that it's not soft and springy like a Vaporfly or kind of the New Balance Fuel Cell TC. It's got that PEBA foam, which is very soft and cushioned, and the carbon plate, but it's really all about that roller feel. The SPEEDROLL technology in the shoe is what comes across on the run. It's very smooth, ridiculously smooth actually from heel to toe, and it's reasonably firm, but I think it's important to say that this is not a firm shoe like a racing flat of old. This is a very comfortable shoe to wear that I would have no hesitation running a full marathon in, and I've even used it for some easy runs, and it actually feels pretty good for that. It's a pretty versatile trainer, in fact, that I think you could use kind of for any running. However, the key is really how it performs at speed, and that's really what I've done with it. So maybe, I think within 10 minutes of them arriving, actually I headed straight out the door to do a progression 10k, working my way from 350 per kilometre down to 320 per k, which is my kind of 10k pace. So I'm not really in that kind of shape right now. And straight out the bat, I loved it. Like it doesn't feel like a super shoe, the kind of that spring-loaded carbon plate thing. It feels like a fairly normal shoe, but just taken to the max. It's brilliantly done. You really are smooth rolling from heel to toe at all paces. It feels light. It feels far lighter than it is, even though it's not a particularly heavy shoe. and I haven't really found a pace yet where this shoe doesn't feel excellent at. Kind of the second really major run I did, but it was a 90-minute progression run where I finished with half an hour at 3:40 per kilometre, which is probably around my current marathon PB pace, but not quite my target pace for a marathon. And it just felt fantastically good, like from progressing from kind of easy to steady and then finishing with a pretty, pacey last half hour. The feel of the shoe didn't change, and I just felt just as kind of efficient and fast and comfortable in it. Like my heart rate was really quite low throughout. I may be just having a fantastic day, but like it really felt like this shoe made that kind of faster pace feel just as easy as I did those easy runs, the easy pace earlier on in the run. It's very, very efficient from heel to toe, and that really comes across when you're running hard and you're just trying to hold that fast pace. Then last week I took it out for a kind of track style session on the road. Don't have a track right now, doing 4 sets of 1 kilometre at 3:20 and then a 400 metre kind of 75 seconds, and then taking a gap, decent break and doing another set of that 4 times. And it can handle all those paces really well as well. Like even coming down to the 400 metre reps, it's great. Like it looks like a reasonably hefty shoe. The weight's not tiny, but it feels very light on the foot, kind of at any pace. It really is a comfortable shoe for kind of even those kind of short, sharp rep paces. And then the last run I did in it was a kind of a comparison run with the Vaporfly and the Alphafly, kind of moving between the shoes over the course of 90 minutes, then starting with the Endorphin, going to the Alphafly, then the Vaporfly, then coming back to the Endorphin. So we're going to have a kind of a full review video comparing those 3 shoes soon, but I will say that the Endorphin really holds its own here. It feels lighter on the foot than the Alphafly, even though both have that kind of same efficient feel to them where, it just feels good running at a hard pace. It feels more comfortable than it does in other shoes, even including the Vaporfly, I will say. And then coming back to it at the end, it was noticeable how fantastic it felt putting it back on. Like even coming from the Vaporfly, my favourite shoe from the last couple of years, this felt better to me. I felt more comfortable. I wasn't going flat out over this 90 minutes. I was trying to hold a similar pace in the 3 shoes and just see how it felt in each of them. And that, even allowing for fatigue, I came back to the Endorphin at the end and it felt great. I think this is a shoe that's definitely going to excel over those longer distances, but all that kind of speed work I've done in it and that kind of fast 10k, those kind of reps, makes me feel that I'd be pretty comfortable racing 5k or 10k in this as well. Also has a reasonably stable feel to it compared to something like the Alphafly. You can go around a sharp corner on this pretty fast and not worry about coming a cropper. So while it's it is still one of this kind of new breed of these super shoes with the soft foam and the plate, it feels more like a traditional shoe, and I think a lot of runners will appreciate that as a kind of something they'd imagine is closer to the running shoe experience they've always had, as opposed to something like the Alphafly and the Vaporfly, which are almost an entirely new breed. So yeah, all in all, every kind of run I've done in this, I've loved doing in it, and I cannot wait for racing season to come back to really put it through its paces with some some PB attempts. The simple question is, should you buy this shoe? And the simple answer is yes. Obviously it's a lot of money, but if you're watching this video, I assume you have an idea that you want to buy some kind of super shoe here, and the Endorphin Pro is as good as anything out there, and that includes the Alphafly and the Vaporfly, both of which are significantly more expensive than this shoe. For me, I'd probably put it about level with the Alphafly, and having both shoes, I think I'd still lean slightly towards the Alphafly for a marathon, just for myself though. Obviously we'll dive into this a lot more detail in a comparison video, but I feel like as a heel striker, I really appreciate that kind of soft cushioning from the Alphafly, the way it rolls through onto those kind of air zoom pods in the forefoot. This is very smooth, fantastic. I would have no problem lining up on a marathon start line tomorrow, going for a PB in this shoe. I'd be, pretty much just as happy in it, but I might just go for the Alphafly out of a personal taste thing. And that's kind of the real difference, I think, now with this shoe. The past couple of years, you could choose any shoe you want to race in, obviously, but I think having used the Vaporfly, kind of knew it was the best shoe out there. Now, I don't think it's so cut and dry. I think the Endorphin Pro is genuinely at that standard. I'd probably use it ahead of the Vaporfly Next Percent and the 4% if I was going all out for a PB. And like I say, with the Alphafly, it might come down to more a question of personal taste. That, I think, is about as big a compliment as you can pay a shoe right now, is whether it actually might, if you were just purely focused on performance, money no object, you might pick it over the Alphafly or the Vaporfly. Obviously, if money is an object, it's got a massive, massive advantage in the fact that it is £190 as opposed to £260. It's a lot cheaper. I don't think it's going to be any less durable than the Alphafly. And I do think it's a slightly more versatile shoe. Like I say, it's a bit more stable. So on twisty, turny courses or courses when you aren't on perfect roads, it's really going to have a little bit of an advantage. Some runners who just don't like the instability of those kind of soft, bouncy shoes as well will appreciate this. It's not a very firm shoe, but it is firmer. It is more stable. And it is just generally a slightly more traditional shoe, but with a kind of hidden secret weapon in it in the form of that SPEEDROLL technology, which is almost deceptively quick, is how someone described it in a comment on our earlier review, and I think that's pretty much nails it. You're running in this, and it's almost surprising how quick you're going and how good it feels to run that quick. So yeah, full marks to Saucony. This is an outstanding new shoe, and I think for the first time we can really say there's some genuine competition for the Vaporfly out there. And at the front of marathon start lines, half marathon start lines, we might finally see a mix of shoes again instead of kind of that wave of green and pink that we've had for the last couple of years. So that's it. That's our review of the Saucony Endorphin Pro. Do hit us up in the comments with any questions you have about the shoe, how it compares to other shoes. Like I say, we've got that kind of big comparison video of the Endorphin Pro, the Vaporfly and the Alphafly coming up soon, which I think is pretty much the 3 best shoes available right now. So we're putting them all through their paces and letting you know what we think is the best. Do like and subscribe and ring the little bell so you know when the next video comes out. And yeah, thanks very much. See you later.